Greetings and welcome to Macon County Movie Club. I'm your host, Ryan Stockstad, and tonight is Family Film Night. Now, there's a long tradition of cult directors and producers who've made movies for this market. People like Al Adamson, Donald G. Jackson, Brian Trenchard Smith, Ted V. Mickles, Bird-Eye Gordon, Charles Band. The list goes on and on. Are we going to watch a movie from one of these guys tonight? I don't know. Stick around, let's find out. Now, the way this works, I and three of my friends have each brought a movie that fit tonight's theme. It's up to the audience to vote on which movie we actually watch. Now, the movie that I brought is a personal favorite of mine from the 70s called The Double Mcguffin.
Hey, my name is Mike, and the movie I've chosen tonight is The Adventures of Mark Twain, a movie from 1985 that I saw quite a while ago and am eager to revisit.
Hi, my name is John, and the movie I picked today is 1985's kid Canadian classic, The Peanut Butter Solution.
Hi, my name is Katie. My pick is The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. I technically saw this movie in 2009, but I was super drunk and I do not remember.
I'm definitely not. Other Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, yes. Hello.
I watched Iron Sky. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I want to see the sequel.
So guys, the movie I picked for tonight is The Adventures of Mark Twain. I saw this movie a while ago, and I remember loving it. This movie is clay animation. It's stop motion clay animation, and it looks fantastic. And it's inventive. The guy that directed it, Will Vinton's known more for producing than for directing. But James Whitmore does the voice of Mark Twain, who is in everything, really, including like where the red fern grows, if we're talking about family movies. But it's wonderful, and it's about Mark Twain, and he actually, the writer joins some of his creations, some of his characters on an adventure, and so I hope you guys will pick this because I actually really do want to see this.
Full steam ahead! Let's catch it!
Isn't he grand?
Where might you be going?
I have brought one of my favorite kids' movies from the 70s. It's called The Double Mcguffin. And very few people have seen it, strangely, but it is the only kids' movie I can think of that has murder, nudity, and Orson Welles narration all in the first 5 minutes or so. And if that's not a selling point, I can't help you guys, because that is why I wanted to watch it. Yeah, back in the 70s when you could have murder and breasts in your movie and still get a G rating. This is a fantastic kids movie by the writer and director of Benji. A group of ingenious child troublemakers stumble upon a mystery and unravel an assassination plot in their small town. When the local police chief doesn't believe them, the kids outsmart the adults and save the day. Starring George Kennedy, Ernest Borgnine, Elke Summer, 15-year-old Lisa Welchel, who you guys all know as Blair from The Facts of Life, Vincent Spano as a kid, and a bunch of kids who never did anything else but are really good here. Like, seriously, the child cast is great. Watch for Ed Too Tall Jones and Lyle Alzado as the assassins, and Orson Welles handles the voiceover narration. Country music icon Charlie Pride's son, Dion Pride, stars and sings the closing theme song. So there's a whole lot of good things about this movie, and it's not seen by anyone. Like, for some reason, it's just lost and forgotten. The other thing I'll say is, I've seen all 4 of the movies that have been picked tonight. I think I'm the only person in this room who's seen all 4, and this is my favorite by far. So you should vote for it if you want quality.
Don't miss the Double McGuffin.
Hey kids, do you like peanut butter? Because I picked the right movie for you. It's 1985's The Peanut Butter Solution. It's a Canadian kids film. This movie has, you ready for this? Burning winos, sudden baldness, psychotic teachers, suburban abductions, juvenile sweatshops, and the icky concoction, the peanut butter, that grows long, luscious pubes. But I really hope you guys pick The Peanut Butter Solution, because out of all these movies, I think this is the only movie that has peanut butter in it. So
It's the Peanut Butter Solution.
This is a classroom, not a barbershop. A toast to this new hair. Long may it grow.
But if it doesn't stop growing, what will happen to Michael? It's a hair-raising, heartwarming comedy adventure for your whole family. See the Peanut Butter Solution.
I picked the 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and I don't know if you guys can see, but it is a Dr. Seuss movie. It is the only movie that Dr. Seuss made, and when I say made, I mean he wrote the script. It's a musical, so he also wrote the lyrics. He moved to Los Angeles so he would have a hands-on, so he'd be hands-on with the design of the set so that everything would look like the Dr. Seuss worlds we're all familiar with from the books. The actual story is about a kid who dreams of a diabolical piano teacher forcing children to practice piano. I remember there's some wild visuals in this, and it's 1953, so Technicolor's still new, and it's still when they were like, everything make it red, blue, like silver, like really intense. And of course, because it's Dr. Seuss, there's also like underlying political messages. So yeah, I really hope people pick this one, because I'm really excited to see it and actually remember a damn thing that happens.
See the eighth wonder of the cinema world, the startling, daring Wonderama, in color by Technicolor.
Hey, no giveaways.
All right, get
All right, does everybody want to know the results? All right, well, once again, I'm terribly sorry to say that Mike came in last place. 3-3 for Adventures of Mark Twain. Yeah, points for consistency. Look, both times it was stiff competition. So hey, it is what it is. Like every one of these, I've wanted to vote for every movie. So third place was Double Mcguffin. My pick got 5. You guys have spoken, and the votes are in and tallied, and the winner is The Peanut Butter Solution. Second place runner-up was 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. All right, let's do this thing. Let's watch this shit.
Hey, it had a totally different title.
I missed it. What did it say?
I don't know.
The peanut butter soup. It was all just crazy.
That's my sister, Susan Allison.
Looks like Sinead O'Connor.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I understand why you're afraid of the teachers.
I'm leaving.
All right, well, we just got done watching The Peanut Butter Solution. John, that was your pick. Well, why don't you start us off? What did we just watch?
Gladly. Movie came out in 1985. It's about a kid who sees something scary, gets harem scarum, and then called the big fright, as they say. And then
the doctor called it harem scarum. That's the medical term.
Sorry, yeah. So he loses all his hair, and then he gets this concoction to regrow his hair called the peanut butter solution.
Ah, I see.
And then hilarity ensues.
Katie, would you agree that hilarity ensued?
I mean, yes and no. I will say that I'm pretty sure this is the kind of movie I would have absolutely loved as a child because it's terrifying. What I love about this movie is I feel like it's actually about trauma. Because it's like the kid has a traumatic experience and then that negatively impacts not only his life but then the coping mechanism to get like more hair makes it worse, and it's only by like giving the trauma to someone else like with It Follows like is how you get rid of it.
Yeah.
And what do you want? He's only trying to be nice. I look disgusting! You hear? Disgusting!
These unhoused people, like the main character had just given them money. He'd just given the man money the other day, so he like knew what they looked like. Maybe he didn't know their names, but he was like, oh yeah, that couple. And then Connie, who's his school friend, is just like, the funniest thing just happened. They burned to death in a fire.
Yeah, that was some straight up serial killer shit right there.
It was like, what is happening?
The guy's coming off suffocating from the smoke, coughing like this. Boy, those flames. You should have seen them.
So basically the point is that the house burned down. This couple that were like panhandling and stuff, they were crashing in the house and they burned to death. And so the kids decide they're going to go explore the house.
Yeah. And they both try to crawl up, and his friend fails at it, but he manages to get up there. And he's gone for a moment, and then all of a sudden he just screams and slides down this like.
And we see his hair, like,
yeah,
wah! Like he's touched one of
those
those
electric. What I like is that we don't know what he saw. So the fright causes his hair to fall out, and which of course is traumatic for a kid. And so he just wants to stay at home, and the dad comes up with a solution of a wig, and that doesn't work, and he gets teased and stuff. So he's gonna stay at home, and he's just not gonna go out the rest of his life. And then the ghosts of the people that died in the fire come to him and offer him the peanut butter solution. They offer him a spell of sorts.
One really ripe banana. Come on, say it. One really ripe banana.
One really ripe banana.
Put it on my head. You have to say put it on my head after each thing. You ain't very bright, are you?
One really ripe banana. Put it on my head.
Good. 5 dead flies.
5 dead flies. Put it on my head.
Oh, no.
And it works all too well. It grows his hair, and it just won't stop. But that's, we talked about this about things that everyone sort of takes for granted. But the hair being short and then a minute later being long, and then nobody seems too surprised by this.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie because the way they shot it, his hair really had been growing out. It was clear that they were shooting,
it looked great,
really effective and
up to a point,
unnerving. I mean, it weirded me out seeing that.
Okay, what's the matter now?
Dad, I'm so glad you're here. Michael's got hair.
All right, Mike! All right, this is it, buddy. The nightmare is over. I told you so. Nature's wonderful. The spring is sprung, and the leaves are budding, and the flowers are shooting, and your head got the message.
But then his hair is just growing and growing and growing, and it causes disruption in school, and a teacher sort of overreacting to it. And
there's a lot of adults behaving irrationally.
Yeah.
But also the way adults actually behave.
It's not moving. It's just too long.
It was short this morning, sir.
Nonsense. What kind of a dodo do you take me for? Human hair grows only half an inch a month, no more.
Not my hair, sir.
This isn't different from wearing like spaghetti straps or like skirts or anything like that. It's like it's distracting because you're a bad teacher.
At last, I tried this extremely dangerous mixture. It worked, but now my hair won't stop. My only chance is for this guy to keep on cutting. Please let me stay. I want to be educated. Hurt? No, but it's dangerous. Let me try it. Why? You don't need it. You got lots of hair. Sure, but what? Well, I'll put some down there.
Oh my God, that kid is gonna put it on his balls.
I mean, the funniest shot in the entire thing was him crossing the street with the hair going out his pant leg. I mean, that's comedy gold, right?
That was good.
It really was. That was hilarious.
Worth the price of admission.
Yeah,
for sure.
What? He's got.
If you do that, senor, I will never come to your class again. And I swear it.
That was a strong kid.
Yeah.
He was bossing his way through the whole movie.
That's true.
When he yells at the teacher, and he's like, if you do that, I will never come back to your class again.
Yeah,
and the teacher doesn't tear up the art. Like, that kid has a coping mechanism to get through this horrible world of Canada that he lives in by bossing people around, including his unruly pubic hair.
Stop. I said stop. Stop going right now. Stop!
Gosh, I think it really has stopped.
There were moments in the movie where I was missing some of the dialogue because it was like I actually couldn't understand what was being said.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's also mainly French Canadian actors in some ways, especially the Seigneur.
Yeah,
seemed very.
Yeah, there were lines that he said that I have no idea.
Dear Miss Prue, you don't know the terrible battle I fight every day against imagination. Their heads are in the clouds. I tell them to draw dogs. Here they draw fires.
There's some stuff there where I was like, wow, that's another accent we didn't need. I mean, like, I really didn't understand a lot of the adults in this movie.
Sausages here. Ignorant sausages.
I think you mean savages.
I would kill to see this movie with an audience.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've never seen it with an audience. I only have seen this
Would you
film
really
on.
kill?
Yes, I would.
I got a list of people.
Perfect.
I will set this movie up in the theater for you.
After this tape, you can email me. But no, I would love to watch this film like at a repertory theater with an audience because I want to see people's reaction go apeshit over the pube scene or just any of the weird random scenes or like the creepy teacher or the senor, like
in his coat
and his pubic and his wonderful pubic coat.
Hello, little girl. You want to come for a ride?
My favorite thing about this movie, and I did not appreciate it as a kid, is the dedication to art that this movie has.
Yeah.
It's not just present in the art direction, it's also in the story. Half the movie takes place in like different art classes, and everybody's artistic. It's the world of the stay-at-home dad is a painter, and he's got an art dealer who he sells paintings to, but he also paints paintings for his daughter for her birthday.
Right.
Like, art is like a thriving...
Not the most positive representation of the art teacher, however.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The art teacher is, well, let's call him what he is. He's a child molester.
I don't think he actually is, but he... I don't
he
think
touched
in the
all
story
of those
is.
kids.
He has them in cages.
I think that must have been an intentional choice to have, like, on one hand, the art teacher, who's a piece of shit, not only constantly touching kids in a way that is really uncomfortable, but also that he hates imagination.
Yeah.
And then you have the dad, where his painting is all imagination.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's like bird people and like all this cool stuff. And even when he draws his family, like the like it's out of proportion. It's not realistic.
Right.
Like when he says, he's like, if I want realism, I would take a photo.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
You're right.
cool. Like, I think it must be an intentional dichotomy.
It is. It's clearly, the art teacher is the villain. He becomes more villainous as the movie progresses. At first, we just think he's a creep. And then we realize
he gets creepier.
Well, and a bully, because he's like tearing up kids' paintings.
Yeah.
It's like
He wears a hair coat.
Which, by the way, at this point in the movie, I mean, how fucking psychotic has this movie become that, like, 20 kids have been kidnapped? We had no setup for this. There was some
a pretty hard
newspaper.
left turn.
It is a hard left turn.
And the editing is like, someone's missing, and then it's like 5, then it's like 15, and then you hear 20. And you're like, wait, what? How much time has passed? It seems like no time at all.
Definitely.
A couple of hours.
Connie, come on. Come on. Come on. Don't drop the sugar. Get in. Up. Good luck.
It's a great kid's way of thinking. It's very Hansel and Gretel,
Oh,
it's a great. I loved that moment in the movie.
Absolutely.
Well, and it's one of the only times that you see the sister actually behave like a kid.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
she's
you.
like relegated to the mom in such a disturbing way throughout the entire movie.
Wearing the robe right at the beginning, and then...
You have music by Celine Dion, a 17-year-old Celine Dion, which she sounds exactly the fucking same.
I gotta say, I loved the little sort of synth pop Celine Dion tracks.
It's probably the only time I don't hate Celine Dion music.
Well, I didn't realize it was her until the end, and without knowing it was her, I was like, I gotta look up the songs of this. These are kind of cool.
Look at the shadow under the berry. Trois dimensions. Three-dimensional. Look at him!
The dog, I gotta say, the dog is probably the best actor in the entire, the best actor in the entire film. I mean, look, they're all good actors, but I think the dog is fucking a thespian.
People loved the dog in our screening, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the dog has a lot to do. The dog is a real presence in this movie.
You can't just come into our house, can you?
Oh, we can, because we're ghosts. Ghosts can go anywhere.
The ghosts, to me, are two of the most interesting characters in the movie.
Yeah.
And actually provide one of my absolute favorite moments in the whole film.
Okay.
It really wasn't my fault.
That's life, sweetheart. You don't get no second chance.
Don't be so hard on them, Mary. I've seen lots of people give you second chances.
So what? Sometimes I'm nice, but sometimes I'm mean. I never know myself which it's gonna be.
Yeah, I agree. No, that scene's great, and it almost too good for this movie. Like, when that moment happened, I was like, wow, that's some good writing. That's
It's some
interesting.
good writing. But it also shows, like, okay, Herd or Meanest probably was the big fright that he got. We didn't see.
Yeah.
So it does go back to that, which is great.
Well, I also love it because I feel like this movie captures the way children view adults, and because adults have so much power over children.
Oh, my magic man, flash, flash, fly. You are making me
Who are these grown-ass adult men who are like chasing her on the bike and waving at her? And it's like, let the girl follow her sugar trail already. Just leave her alone.
For real.
All right, well, so yeah, what do we think? Is this a recommend? Do we like this movie? Do we not like this movie? What do you think, John?
I liked it. I mean, I bought it, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I totally recommend it. Like I said, I would love to see this with a big audience, and I know they're gonna have a ball with it. So
I'm right there with you. I like it too. I think everybody should definitely check it out if you've never seen it before. Is it a good movie with a capital G?
No.
Yeah, I don't know, but
it's fun.
I totally had fun with it, and it's weird as hell. Yeah, recommend for me.
You know your kids best, so if you think that they'll enjoy a movie that's pushes the envelope a little bit, then I think it'd be a wonderful family film.
I'm all for traumatizing children. So I honestly, I mean, fucking show this to kids. That's my... Mike, what do you think?
No, I enjoyed the movie. You have to stick with it. It takes a while to get into it. It was a bit slow at the beginning, but once it gets going, there's enough there. There's some plot holes and some problems, but it's a good ride. Once it gets going.
Exactly. You're on the ride. Once you're on the ride, you can look past all the problems. All right. Well, this is the part of the show where we each have a pick, our own recommendation. The theme is family films. What do you got for us, Mike?
So originally, my choice tonight was going to be A Talking Cat. But then I found out everyone had seen it, basically, so I decided to go with something else. Well, I'm not recommending A Talking Cat. I am recommending the Riff Tracks version of A Talking Cat.
You're not saying the name the
right
way.
Exactly. I've been biting my tongue this entire time.
A talking cat? That's just stupid. That's the best you could come up with?
I'm a talking cat, but I can only talk to a person once.
Katie, what do you got for us?
I'm just going to recommend my all-time favorite family film, which I've mentioned already on this show, unless it's been cut out, which is Return to Oz. Woo! I love it with all of my heart because Dorothy Gale gets electroshock therapy at the beginning of the movie, and then it just goes from there. It's so incredible, and like I said, just as a kid, it just hit all the right dark, upsetting buttons in my brain, and also as a child, I watched that and like the old school Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland back to back to back, because in my brain they're like, oh, it's a sequel, it's the first one, the sequel. I had no idea they were made like decades apart until I was an adult. That it's Fairuza Balk's first film. She's like 10 in it, I think, and Piper Laurie is in it, which is amazing. I've loved it ever since I was 5 years old.
From Walt Disney Pictures comes a whole new world of entertainment.
Why don't we just fly back to Kansas?
Return to Oz.
I love talking animal movies. That's a character flaw of mine that I've probably subjected too many of my friends to over the years. And because of that, I bought a little movie called Dog Gone, better known as Ghost Dog. Not to be confused with Ghost Dog, the Jim Jarmusch film. Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai is not the same thing as Ghost Dog, a detective tale. Anytime you tell me that you're going to kill a dog and make the ghost of the dog possess another character, I'm on board and I'm going to buy your movie. This movie is insane and wonderful. A veritable who's who of television actors slumming in a really weird made-for-TV kids flick. Jack Wagner is a canine cop whose doggy partner gets killed on duty. The dog's spirit enters the body of a kind-hearted, bumbling crook played by Zach Ward, who I adore. I love Zach Ward. And the two team up with the dead dog's vet, played by Daphne Zuniga, to solve the crime. Zach Ward really throws himself into the role. He acts like a dog, runs around on all fours, sniffs butts, and generously licks the faces of the beleaguered supporting players. Dorian Wilson, David Leisure, Todd Bridges round out the cast. Director Worth Keeter makes the best of a small budget and a silly concept and really pulls off a workable movie. This is at least partially due to his cast, who are clearly game for anything. The story is absolutely bonkers, and the film's tone wavers between ridiculous and wacky, sweet and charming, and wholly inappropriate for kids. And that is a winning combination in my book.
Thank you, officer.
My movie recommendation is the 1976 film Bugsy Malone, directed by Alan Parker, and it is one I saw when I was a little kid, and it just surprised me. I'm a big fan of gangster films from the 1930s, and this movie stars just kids playing gangsters. According to Wikipedia, unusual spoof of old gangster movies in which a cast made up entirely of children sings and dances its way around Prohibition-era sets, substituting toy guns and whipped cream for machine guns and bullets. This movie, I actually love this film a lot because, first off, it's starring Scott Baio, Jodie Foster, and it has amazing music by Mr. Paul fucking Williams.
That's right.
So, it just came, at this point, it just came out on Blu-ray on a new 4K master, which I'm super excited. It's the first time it's ever been released here in America, and I highly recommend you buy it. No question. Just buy the movie.
In spite of Scott Baio being an asshole these days.
Absolutely.
Every decade, a great movie musical. Bugsy Malone. There's never, ever been a movie like it.
Eat your heart out, Gene Kelly.
All right, so it's a new show. Last time we said that the person whose movie was picked got to pick the next theme. We're changing it up. Now each one of us is going to pick a theme, and then you're going to choose your favorite out of the four. Go ahead and start us off, Mike.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Oh my gosh, timber! I'm digging deep into the skull on this one.
All right.
I don't know what this is, but I'm excited.
All right.
I like my category.
All right, I got this one.
All right. Mike, what do you got for us?
I got Nunsploitation.
Oh,
Non-exploitation.
Nunsploitation.
I can think of a couple good ones right off the bat.
Me too.
I have no idea of what video nasties mean.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Yes.
80s straight-to-video horror.
Not necessarily straight-to-video. It's
UK.
Mostly
They were banned in the UK,
yeah.
and there's a finite number of them. It's something like 83 or something like that, and most of them are horror.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I also drew something giallo.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I got gonorrhea.
What do you got?
I got transformation and mutation.
Transformation and
That's
mutation.
Pretty.
Wow. That's a good one too.
This is
So we got Nunsploitation, Video Nasties, Giallo, and Transformation/Mutation. What are we going to go with?
Wow, what a Sophie's choice I gotta make. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it and say Video Nasties.
Video Nasties.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I love this. Okay. All right, well, I'm very excited about this. Join us next week on Macon County Movie Club when we tackle Video Nasties. This is also going to be our Halloween episode, so throw on a costume and get a big bowl of candy and come see what movies we pick. Also, be sure to follow the LA Frankenstein page on Instagram and subscribe right here on YouTube for more episodes of Macon County Movie Club every Friday through the end of the year. We'll see you next time. A talking cat?